Human trafficking to me is when someone kidnaps or absconds with another human being and takes them away against their will. I think it happens all over the world.
I'm sure it's here, but I haven't heard much about it here.
It is a big issue that's not being dealt with like it should be.
I had a girl reach out to me on a modeling website and said, hey, I have this guy who would love to represent you, kind of like a manager type figure. And so she passed along his information to me. We met up for coffee and I ended up working with him for a period of 4 or 5 months before anything went sour. So I was in my hotel room and it wasn't, even when they came in the room, there was probably, a good 90 seconds to 2 minutes that I really didn't believe that was about to happen. And after all of that silence, because not a word was said, it was like suddenly like my stomach was just like in this, like I can still remember that exact feeling. It's like a knot in your throat and a knot in your stomach of just like, all right, now I get it, something is bad. He and 2 other guys came into my hotel room, and then that was when I was raped. The whole thing was videotaped and photographed. How do I go to a store? How do I go anywhere and not always wonder, like when I see men, like if they've watched this? I went to the bathtub and I sat and I felt so dirty and I washed my body off and I felt disgusting. But even while it was happening, I remember the emotional trauma was much worse than, I think your body goes into shock. I didn't feel much of the physical pain of it as much as I did the emotional. How could somebody that I truly care about so much and I thought cared about me, how could they betray me so much? He was like, if you don't want to come meet me, then this is what's going to happen. So I agreed to come meet him. And when I did, he was like, I need you to, when we go on these modeling jobs, to sleep with men and I'm going to sell you to them. They're going to make money on it. I'm going to make money on it. And it was like a business proposition. It's amazing when I look back at it because he was so good at playing the game and just really getting you to open up. Why did I end up in this situation? Like, why was I so trusting? Why was I naive? You start to rationalize in your head how the situation got to that point. One guy had said, I hope it comes out about the sexual predator that he is and the trafficker. And when I read that and saw the word trafficker, like my heart just sunk. I never once considered myself a trafficking victim. It was just like I was a rape victim and got stuck in this really crappy situation that I didn't know how to get out of. That was like the lowest point of my entire life. And I woke up the next day and I was just like, I can't do it anymore. Like, if I have to think about this stuff every day for the rest of my life, like, I don't know how I'm supposed to function. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to live. I don't know how I'm supposed to ever date again, like work and just do anything without this like always being on my mind. But I was like, wait a minute, like, I don't want to die. Like, I don't want him to win. Then I also realized I had spent 4 years almost being really angry with God for what had happened to me. And I was kind of over that then. I was like, you know what? I need to stop being angry with God, like, and feeling like he didn't love me throughout this whole period. So I started going to church again, and that became like a really big part of my life. When I first started telling my story, I was just amazed at how many people were in shock. And I had no idea. I didn't know that Charlotte was, you know, in the top 10. I didn't know that this happened in the United States. I didn't know that it happened in our city. People are always like, oh, well, what you don't know won't hurt you. Yeah, in this sense, it will. Wow, what the devil meant for a really, really bad thing, like God meant for good, and I really can see that now, and it's like I didn't go through it in vain. I went through it to really make a difference in other people's lives.